Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 171. Tonight we're reviewing Coco.
The new Pixar movie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're reviewing Coco. We're also reviewing the 21-minute-long Frozen winter. I can't call it an extravaganza.
I was going to say ice-capade, but it's not even that fabulous.
Nope. It really isn't. It was supposed to be for, like, ABC Christmas.
Yeah.
And, like, it was 21 minutes and they were going to put a whole bunch of commercials.
After Michael Bublé's The Christmas
Exactly,
Extravaganza.
Right? Before the Sound of Music, it's going to be Frozen, like, whatever. But so then they just decided to put it in front of Coco. Everyone online is like, what the fuck is this, though? Because it's, like, a frustrating thing on twofold for me. Where it's, like, first off, I really like that there's always like a Pixar short that's like artistic and short,
different,
and
the art is always like the style of the animation is always interesting and different. You're like,
it's experimental for Pixar to like try new things and like whatever. Like we loved
what was the one
Piper,
the cloud person, and they kept changing all the colors. That I like that one.
Yeah, that one was cool.
I don't remember what movie.
There was one with the letters where it was like a love letter or whatever. Well, let's go back to Frozen.
I forgot. Oops.
I mean, who cares? We're not going to actually review the Frozen Christmas nonsense with, like, mediocre songs. And, like, how come they didn't reprise Do You Want to Build a Snowman? I don't understand.
We're going door to door looking for family traditions.
We don't have any traditions. And I was like, no, but your tradition is to build a snowman. There was an entire song about it. What the fuck?
And then the reveal at the end of the short was, oh, wait, our tradition was to build a snowman. That was the point.
Because there was an entire song about it.
There was a song about, do you want to build a snowman?
Also, why was it so important to have a Christmas after ringing the bell tradition? I was like, this is a lot.
They're both very emotionally stunted people.
That's true.
Severe. They need a psychologist. They need a family psychiatrist.
Very true.
In that household. A live-in psychiatrist who's just like, I'm going to help.
Yeah. Don't just shut out all of your problems and run away to your room and put on your gloves. You have to talk it out. Talk to each other. Open line of communication. It was real just like cheesy,
I feel like Josh Gad and
needs to shh.
And James Corden are in a similar category for me.
Agreed.
Where they just, I need them to take it down a notch.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Too much. And yet there were things that I laughed at from Josh Gad in this, where I was like, where he's like...
From who now? From Josh Gad? What did you say?
Josh Gad. Josh Gad.
Something said Josh Gad.
Josh Gad. You're a princess, you don't have to settle.
There was really funny stuff. I think just having it before this movie made it be like... First of all, what? Well, also, why is this so long?
I got out of this short in a bad mood. Where you're just like, what's not a good way to start a movie that you want people to like? Putting them in a bad mood right before it.
I just always have a lot of questions when it comes to Frozen. I just like...
You seem to have a lot of questions when it comes to Pixar and Disney in general.
Her powers are endless.
Endless.
Does Olaf have a soul? I don't know. I want to know. But I don't.
I think he has a soul. That's the whole point.
So is she God? Is she...
Ooh, like, that's a good question because she created him.
She created him. Is he her imaginary friend? Is it the combination of the two sisters' love of the snowman and that's the personality that came out? I have questions.
I mean, it's weird that the Frozen Disney short is having us ask the same questions as Blade Runner 2049. Yet somehow it is.
But boy, could I talk about that sauna scene for a while. That was my favorite part.
It felt like they forced all of those characters to perform in this. Even though they're animations, it still had like the same feeling.
Like, they felt like they were under contract.
You're like, wait, this seems weird.
Okay, I guess we'll just have to grin and bear it and get through this. Okay. It just felt really weird to me that basically Olaf knocks on the entire town's door and everyone is just like, hey, talking snowman.
Oh,
what's up?
That made sense to me. I think it's just kind of like this, like, everyone was there in the town square when Olaf was prancing around at the end of Frozen.
It's like their mascot.
Yeah, it was like, they're used to it now.
When she created life, does that mean she can take life? Does that mean she can create more life? Could she, if someone died, can she bring them back to life? I just have questions about the abilities that she has.
Yeah, well, she can certainly levitate people.
Is she going to join the Justice League? I don't know. Like, what's going on? I It raises questions.
Could you imagine?
Yes. Wonder Woman's like, finally, another woman! I mean, she's emotionally stunted enough. She could absolutely join the Justice League.
Exactly.
And be fine. She'd fit right in.
Just as damaged of a person. There can only be one orphan on the Justice League. And
Batman's already taken.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, Elsa is sort of Batman. Like, her parents were killed, and she's rich as fuck, and she just hides away in the night and, like, you know, uses her powers for good or evil. Oh, I don't know. She's right in that line.
It's true.
She's sort of Batman.
That's kind of true. I like this.
All of that Nordic crime that's going on.
Oh no, Arendelle, it's just too much.
You know what's inside that snowman? A body.
So Coco.
Great.
Coco is a movie about a boy who wants to be a musician, but whose family has forbidden all forms of music.
This was my problem with the first half hour. It was the similar Moana problem where it's like, oh, the ocean is evil. You can't go near the ocean at all. It's not like, oh, let's put up parameters and like, oh, we don't want you to have a musician's lifestyle, so like, don't do that as a profession, but like, we don't have to ban music as a just
thing.
Like a general, like,
it would have been better.
Music, no.
Exactly.
Like,
it would have been better if it was like Sister Act 2.
Yeah.
Where the mom is just like, you know, singing does not pay the bills.
Exactly.
Singing doesn't put food on the table.
Yeah, that's
like,
what it needed to do.
Exactly.
And they were so, I mean, it was like Footloose, you know? It was just like,
musicians are horrible people. Don't hang out with them because they will leave you and don't care about you.
But like, on top of that, it was like, and music is like a gateway drug. It was like, music, they were actually like, music was heroin.
I'm saying that they should have just said, don't hang out with music. Like, instill this sense of musicians are terrible, and then it's like, then it's even a better allegory for like being gay or whatever, where it's just like, you're telling me that I'm horrible,
wrong.
but I feel like I'm a musician, you know, and you're just like, oh, he just wants to be who he is.
Just let him be him.
And it was just such nonsense reactions. It was over the top.
You know.
Like, oh, you wear shining shoes in the mariachi section.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm making money as slave labor to this family. I'm shining shoes for you guys, and you can't do it in that place because they happen to play music.
Exactly.
There. I was like, okay.
It should have been like he comes home. Oh my god, I was shining this mariachi shoes, and he said there was a singing competition. I want to join. It's like, no. What have I told you about singing and those people?
Yeah.
Carnies, smell like cabbage, small hands.
Very small hands.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that was my biggest problem with the first half hour because it was the same thing.
It was just repetitive.
It was like Moana all over again. And I was like,
absolutely.
Look, I get it. Can we like figure out a way for this to not be so repetitive?
But then it moved into like Ratatouille, but with music.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm kind of down for this. And then he goes to the land of the dead. This was where it got kind of cool for me. Yeah. I was expecting it to be dumb and awful. Like, this is how I know it's going to be a good Pixar movie. If I look at the trailer or like particularly the teaser and I go, oh no, Pixar might be over.
And then you go, oh, I was so surprised. Were you surprised?
I was like, I loved it. The Incredibles, I was like, oh god, what are they thinking? Loved it.
No, I like this. I was bored for like a third of it.
I was bored for parts of it.
Right.
Or I was kind of like, okay, we get it. You're like, whatever. I could have trimmed it more.
Yeah. This needs more songs because every time that kid sang, I was like, yes! I was like,
well, wouldn't it have been better if he had like a Woe Is Me song where he's like walking home after being chastised?
There wasn't a song for the first 45 minutes?
No, because there was no music. But it's
but
we should have seen him feeling the music.
Down by the lake or whatever, like having a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like it should have opened with a song.
Exactly.
Like him secretly playing.
Yeah.
And, Miguel, where are you?
Yeah.
Gotta go. Hide my guitar inside this rotted out tree.
Absolutely.
So whenever the music was playing, I was fully engaged and I really liked it.
I really liked it.
I loved all the music and the kid's voice was amazing. I was like, yes.
Yeah. I would say I really liked 75 to 80% of this movie. I feel like you would probably say 65 to 75%. Somewhere in there. But whatever.
Yeah.
I have more tolerance, I think.
Well, also I guessed what was going to happen 20 minutes in.
Okay.
So that didn't help.
I didn't, for whatever reason. Maybe I was just on the journey and
I just went for that journey. it got dark. So, like, it starts and he's introducing Ernesto de la Cruz, who we think is his grandfather. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah, so spoiler alert. It's a good movie. Totally go see it. We're going to spoil some stuff. It's not a big deal if you don't care about spoilers, but if you do, then we're going to spoil it. So go see it first.
So we get this whole montage of Ernesto de la Cruz, who is his great-great-grandfather, or so we think. And him sort of being this sort of flamboyant, famous musician, the most famous musician in the world! Right. And made me want to watch Rock-a-Doodle. Remember Rock-a-Doodle?
Nope.
With the chicken, like it was Elvis. It was that cartoon movie.
No.
It was Rock-a-Doodle, and he was like a rockabilly.
Is it like a chicken run kind of thing, or
no?
Totally different.
I think it was the people that did like All Dogs Go to Heaven, or I want to say something. It wasn't Disney.
Gotcha.
And it was like he was a rooster, and his pompadour was like Elvis's. And he played the guitar, and he was like Elvis. In the first 5-10 minutes, they're telling his backstory. And he just gets killed. I mean, I guess in the long run it ends up like, it was his karma.
Sure.
Right? 'Cause it was sort of like an accident.
Right.
He gets crushed by a huge fucking bell, and I was like, damn, Pixar, that was cold. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit. I guess, but thinking about it now, I'm like, oh, that was his karma, because
totally,
he's a bad man.
Spoiler alert, murdered someone.
They literally said, like, you're a murderer.
Yeah.
And then they showed him murdering someone.
And stole the songs from him.
I was shocked that there was straight up murder in a Pixar movie.
I loved it.
Oh, I didn't mind it, but I was shocked.
I think I was shocked. That's why I didn't see where it was going. Because I
didn't necessarily see that going, but I was like, so like Hector is his great-great-grandfather. Like, pretty early on. I was like, so that's what's going on? Cool. Would I have liked it more if he had actively chosen to go on this adventure and it wasn't like a oops, surprise? I don't know.
Like, I fell into this?
Yeah, he kind of just fell into the Land of the Dead. Would I have liked it if he was like, I really truly believe in Dia de los Muertos.
Right.
I'm going to go try and get his picture and summon him because he's my idol. And
that's how I thought it was going to happen.
Maybe because he would have had more agency, I would have liked that. And it would have been sort of like, yep, we're moving this along.
I feel like they gave him the agency when he was sent back.
Totally.
And then was like, fuck this, I want to be a musician, I'm going back.
Yeah, when he was like, no, I'd rather die, basically, than go back and not be a musician.
Yeah.
So anyway, he goes to the Land of the Dead, and he meets up with his family of skeletons. Why do the skeletons have to have hair? I mean, I get it, but also, skeletons were all wearing toupees.
I mean, sure. There was a lot, they also had eyeballs.
They also had eyeballs.
So, like...
They also all sang but had no vocal cords or lungs. I get it. They're skeletons. I can move on from this, but I was just like, okay.
The mechanics of, the Land of the Dead don't really make sense.
I'm going to say that it bothered me and then move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just had to put it out there.
It was also confusing as to, like, there's, like, children. It's like, so that child died as a child.
Well, yeah, so there was, like, a whole family, like, there was a bit of, like, border patrol, going through customs business that I was like, we didn't necessarily need this to happen. But anyway, there's a whole entire family that's like, we gotta get across the border to see, there's like 3 small children and 2 adults. I was like, so they all died in like a horrific car accident together? I'm just so you know, Pixar, that's what this is implying.
So like, did his uncle twins both die at the same time?
Yeah, so all of his relatives are the age of their pictures that they have out, died at the age of those pictures that were taken. Fairly young. But then when Coco transfers over at the very, very end, she's like 117. And so I was like, well, what's going on?
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Is their afterlife form the picture that's put up of them?
Interesting.
And if
you
so,
put up a different
then
one,
how much is that?
You just gotta get your family to be like, you gotta put a real good picture of me.
Make sure it's good.
Make sure it's when I'm, in my late 20s.
Yep.
When I was looking good to baby fat, just looking great.
Yep.
Fit. So then does that mean that those children, like were they older when they died, but then they were putting up little kid pictures?
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter, but it does. But it doesn't really matter.
So can we talk about my favorite part of the movie?
The dog or the crazy dragon?
Neither of those things.
Frida Kahlo.
Yes.
Good.
Actually, the dragon, I was like, I want a drag queen to be this, this palette. It was day glow, neon, every spot of the rainbow.
It was great.
Yes to all of
I
it.
will say this might be one of the most beautiful Pixar films.
It was gorgeous, yeah.
Like the art direction was just fabulous.
Yeah. So Frida Kahlo.
Oh my God.
She was amazing. I was like, wait, can she be his like great aunt that she's around the whole time and hanging out? Because yes. At first I was like, movie, you're gonna like put Frida Kahlo in here just because it's like the first.
Of course, right?
You know, she's so famous. I was like, no to this, and then it was really funny, and I was like, yes to this.
Yes to this.
And then they'll all crawl out of a giant papaya, and they're all me. And they'll crawl into this cactus. That's me. I was like,
Yeah.
I like all of this. And then it's on fire.
I liked how Frida in this was no capes. You know, it was like the same kind of character where you're just like, yeah, thank you. Enjoying this moment of this movie.
She was my favorite.
Yeah.
I did start to notice that at a certain point, Miguel was dressed like Elliot from E.T. Like he's got like the red hoodie.
Yes,
all, like, tie around his. I was like, oh, Elliot.
And he has the little pony finger E.T.
Oh, I don't know if that was on purpose, but I liked it.
I like that.
I love this little kid.
I love the little kid.
I thought he was great.
And you know what? I really liked that it seemed like they did a very good job for me of appreciating the culture, teaching about the culture without it being like too stereotypical. It didn't feel like...
Not super. I could have used a little more education. I don't feel like I really learned a ton about Dia de los Muertos.
I guess not entirely. It was more about family.
More about family. Like, I would have liked to...
And memory.
Like, I can't pronounce it. They kept talking about the spirit guides, which was like the leopard dragon and the animals and stuff. And they had a name for it that started with an A. I kind of would have liked to have learned a little bit more.
Sure.
And maybe that would have been more exciting for me than some of the scenes that went on a little too long.
He just needed to sing.
Like, well, basically,
that's what you're like.
It needed to start with a song, you know.
It needed to start with like the
connection, you know, at the swamp. I'm singing
or there's
about
music
it,
everywhere. Like the streets are alive with the sound of music. You know,
like I'm walking down the street, you know.
And hear music everywhere. And, like everything's great.
Just
and then it's like,
you know, like you just needed that opening number.
Exactly. Where you're like, yeah, this is
me.
great.
I'm Miguel, and I'm like, I love you.
And then the parents are like, no, musicians are terrible people.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is so sad. I want him to sing again.
Yeah.
And then he has like a soft number to himself up in his little hideaway.
A quiet song.
You know, where it's like, when will my reflection show that I am a musician?
I thought you were saying homosexual.
Well,
same thing. Alan Gordon.
But I'd rather. That's this.
That's what
He's just, but I'd rather. No! We have to make shoes.
I'd rather just sing. Stop that. You're not going to do a song while I'm here.
So, like, Ernesto is revealed to be a full-on murderer.
Yeah.
And
then he, like, throws them into this, like, cave.
Oh, right. That water looked real.
Yes.
I had a moment of, like, oh my god, they blew my mind. And Hector is being forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, this movie was, like, emotional.
Well, I'll say this. At the very end, when he sings the song to his grandmother, I was like, oh, it got me. They got me again.
Yep.
Oh, no, they did it.
Yep.
It took to the last scene, you know. It's not like up, it's like the reverse of up
yeah,
or whatever.
Like,
but I was like, oh, no, they did it again. Singing to his grandma. Oh.
I know. It was really sweet.
Listening, and it was like a great song, and I was like, oh my god, Miguel.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was very cute, and it totally got me at the end. Yeah. I thought it was a little slowly paced, and maybe that had something to do with the 20-minute short beforehand.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
that's what I'm saying.
It could have. It's not my absolute favorite by any means.
No, but it was one of the better ones.
It was very nice. I liked it a lot.
I did too. I thought it was really...
And I really liked the music.
I really liked the music.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, it was really good, which is refreshing. It's nice that it's like, you wouldn't think it'd be that hard. I mean, I know it's hard to get like a Little Mermaid or an Aladdin. You know, like those.
But like they did it.
They did do it really.
All in a row.
Right? Like we can do better than the one good song in Moana, even though I love that song.
But it does seem to be that case, like in more recent Disney movies, like, oh, there's that one good song.
Yeah,
you know,
like Frozen and everyone sung Let It Go. We get it. Although I liked We Finished Each Other's Sandwiches song, although I don't know the words to it, so there you go. So cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.